Guys, this is Ibrahim Rahman from Italic. Welcome back to another video in the HTML series. In today's video, we are going to look at text formatting tags. Hopefully, you will enjoy the video and learn something new. So let's get started. Text formatting tags in HTML, they are nothing but special tags, special codes that change how text look or display on a web page. And of course, they can change the looks of your text to either be in italics, bold, underline, create headings, paragraph, or even break lines within certain information on your web page. And of course, the text formatting tags can make your text to change the looks or to be different in the way that you originally added them on the web page. Let's say, for instance, if you add a simple paragraph tag on your web page with the bold tag that is added to that text, it can change the looks of your text on the web page, as well as the italics. It can change the looks of the text you originally added to your web page. So they are nothing but special codes that change how your text looks or display on the web page. And of course, when we talk about text formatting tags, they are categorized in all these forms. Of course, we have the heading tags, which can be categorized from heading 1 to heading 6. We have the paragraph tag, we have the bold tag, we have the strong, we have italic tag, we have semantics, emphasis tag, we have underline tag, and break tag. And of course, like I told you in one of our previous videos, that there are so many tags when it comes to development of web pages, but there are key tags that we cannot go without. Yes, so these are some of the tags that when it comes to developing or building web pages, we cannot go without these tags. So these are examples of text formatting tags. Now let us look at the heading tag. And of course, the heading tag is used to define titles when it comes to developing web pages. It can range from H1 to H6. Why do they label them as H1 to H6? It is because when we add a text in H1 tag, let's say for example, hello world. For example, hello world. Now, within this H1 tag, we have hello world. So if you place hello world within this tag, and of course, it has the largest font width when it comes to heading tags. And of course, when we move on to H6, from H1, H2, H3 onto H6, the weight and the size of the font gets reduced. Okay, so let's understand this. From H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest when it comes to heading tags. And of course, it helps to structure the document. Let's say, for example, if you have headings and subheadings or subtitles, as well as paragraphs, H1 to H6 or heading tags can make the headings to stand out. Okay, and it also improve readability for SEO. And mind you, this is very key when developing web pages. SEO here stands for search engine optimization. It means what? Making your websites easy for Google or other search engines to find and show at the top of the search result. Let's say, for example, you have a website. Let's say you have an e-commerce website that focuses on, let's say, selling electronics. Yeah. So with the constant use of electronics on heading tags within your website, then definitely when someone searches for electronics, your website will be able to pick it up easily by the search engines. So this is the reason why we should make sure to add headings on our web pages. This is a typical example of the heading tag. Of course, I told you we have from H1 to H6. If we take a look here, you can see heading 1, and this is the closing tag, heading 2, as well as this, and this is the output. For heading 1, you see heading 1 is the biggest. So let's look at this. Okay, when it comes to heading 2, it decreases the size. Okay, when we come to heading 3, its size also decreases. So this means the text for heading 1 is displayed in a more visual way, or in a larger form as compared to heading 2, heading 3, and so on and so forth. So look at heading 6 here. Heading 6 is the least one. Of course, they are all heading tags. When it comes to the comparison now, heading 1 is the top. Now look at it, you can see it is visible for the user. So this is the display of heading tags from heading 1, heading 2 on to heading 6. And we must make sure to take note of the tags. If you want to use H1 tag, this will be the output. If you want to use H2 tag, this will be the output. Heading 3, this will be the output, and so on and so forth. We also have another text formatting tag, which is the paragraph tag. Of course, when we want to add description or certain information, okay, in our web pages, with the exclusion of heading tags, yes, what do? We make use of what? The paragraph tag. Of course, the paragraph tag defines a block of text within your paragraph. It also adds a space before and after the block by default. So this simply means, like for example, if we have one line here, let's say we have one paragraph here, and we also have another here, this text by default make sure to leave spaces from the front here onto the last end here, and also it leaves space from the top and the bottom. So even if you have multiple lines of text, okay, with the use of paragraph tag, it can create spaces by default. Yes, it can also create spaces by default, and also it groups sentences into meaningful section. So this is the use of the paragraph tag. We also have the B tag. The B tag is to make the text what? To be bold. Let's say for instance you type hello world. Without the B tag, it will not be bold. It can just be a plain text. So the B tag here is used to bold the text, and of course we are going to see the implementation of all these tags. And for example, let's just look at something here. So if we are to use the B tag for this text warning, it simply means this text will be bold, meaning the weight of this font will be increased. So this is the essence of the bold tag. The bold tag will increase the weight of the font from the original way it is displayed to a more visual way. So this simply means all the texts that are bold, the weight of those texts can be increased as well. Then we also have the strong tag. The strong tag also makes the text bold as compared to the B tag. The strong tags also makes the text to be bold. But here is the difference now. We have what we call semantic importance. Of course, if we use strong, it tells the browser and screen reader as well as search engine that this text is important. The semantic tags also have add what? Importance. They give importance and additional meaning to certain tags so that the web browser can understand the information that they want to display, or it can be able to understand more about the information they are to display. So the difference between the semantic tag and the normal B tag is that the B tag is just for bolding, whereas the strong tag here now have emphasis. It lays importance on the information that is to be displayed on the web browser. So this is why most developers tend to use these semantic tags. We also have another text formatting tag, which is the italic tag. It's used to make text italic, so which means it can be used to make text slants. For example, if we have boy here, so if we use the P tag for this one, for this information or this piece of text, what will happen is that this text can be displayed in a vertical way, okay? But the moment we add the I tag to this text, what will happen? The result will be in this format, okay? The result will be in this format, okay? The text will be slanted a bit. The text will all be slanted to the right. So this is the essence of the italic tag. Another type of text formatting tag that we normally use is the EM tag. The em tag is also another semantic tag that lay emphasis, or it convey emphasis to the tag. As well as when we spoke about the bold tag and the strong tag, the bold tag is just for appearance, whereas the strong tag give emphasis on it. So we also have another type of tag, which is the U tag. Of course, the U tag is commonly used to underline text. It is also commonly used to underline text, but it is not always recommended for web pages. The reason being, it is often mistaken to be used as links. Like for example, let's say we have boy here. If you use the U tag for this one, it can be mistaken to be called a link, which of course it is not a link. Okay, so this is why it's not often used. We also have the BR tag. Of course, the BR tag is essential. The reason being, it inserts a line break in your text. So let's say you have one line of text here, another line of text here. The moment you add the BR tag, after this step, what will happen? It moves the content to the next line without starting a new paragraph. Like for example, if we have something here, let's say, okay, for example, we have a piece of text here. Then automatically you add a BR tag here. The moment you add the BR tag here, what will happen? All what you'll be writing on this other end will be moved to this next line. So which means it moves the content to the new line without starting a new paragraph. So that's the essence of the BR tag. So let's say you have something here. So then you added a B tag here, a BR tag rather. So what will happen? Even if you have the text continue, but because of this BR tag that is placed here, what will happen? It will be moved. The rest of the content here on the right hand side here will be moved to another next line. So that is it. So let us now move on to our code editor to see the practical implementation of all what we've learned. Okay guys, we are now on our code editor. Let us see how we implement text formatting tags. For now, we don't have any project folder, so we need to create one. So all you need to do, right click on your keyboard. So create a new folder. Let's call this folder text formatting. Or let's say text format. So this is the name of our folder. And from there, we drag this folder into our code editor. Then after that, we also need to create a new HTML file. Click on this icon, then you type the name of your HTML file. You can give it whatever name you want to give to a file. So I'll call this text.html. So this is the name of my file. So after that, we need to add the boilerplate as per convention. And after that, we have the boilerplate ready. Of course, I told you text formatting tags in HTML are special codes, okay, that change how text looks or how the text is displayed on our web page. Okay, they can either make the text to be bold, italic, underlined, or whatever. Okay, so let us see the first text formatting tag we are going to look at. And of course, we are going to start with the heading tag. Let us start with the heading tag. The heading tag is used to define titles as well as subtitles. Like I told you, it is used to define titles within our HTML document. It ranges from H1 to H6. So this means it ranges from heading 1 onto heading 6. And we normally use the heading tag in order for us to help structure the document and also improve readability as well as search engine optimization. Now let us see how we can add the H1 to H6 tags within our documents. Now let us start with the first one. Of course, in our last video, I told you how to add the tags within our HTML pages. So all you need to do, for example, if we are to add a heading tag, we just need to type H1 from the keyboard. Okay, we already have the emit abbreviation here that will help us complete this tag. So press enter. We now have heading 1. Okay, so in here we just need to type something. Let's call this heading 1. We call this heading 1. So if we now go back to our web browser, and try to preview this document, let us see what will be the outcome. So you see we have heading 1, and of course heading 1 has the largest font among all the heading tags. So you see, so let's add another tag again. Let's call this heading 2. The next tag we are going to add is heading 2, that H2. So H2 tag. So here we just need to press enter and type heading 2. Let's add another heading 3. So we just type H3. We press enter. So we'll call this heading 3. So if we now go to the browser, let us see the preview. So you see, heading 1 has the largest font size, heading 2 and heading 3. Of course, the more you increase the number within the heading tags, the more it decreases the size of the text when displayed on the browser. Okay, so let us add heading 4, 5, and 6. Now we have a shortcut. If you don't want to keep on typing, all you need to do, so just hold Shift and alternate from the keyboard. You use the down arrow key. From there, we have a duplicate of this previous tag. So let us change this to heading 4. Let's change the tag numbers to heading 4. And let us see the preview on the browser. So this is heading 4. Okay, so guys, this is how to add the heading tags within our documents. Okay, so let us also add heading 5 and heading 6. Okay, so we now have heading 5 and heading 6. So now I want to change these numbers. So instead of me to do that one at a time, so I'll just click on the first one, hold alternate from the keyboard, click on the next value, and click on the next value again. Okay, so this simply means I can edit them at once. So I will clear out and type 5. So this is for heading 5. Let's do the same thing for heading 6. Click here, then change the value to 6. So you see we now have heading 1 to heading 6. So if we go to the browser, this is the preview. So you see heading 6 has the smallest font size among the heading tags. So you see, the more the number in the tag increases, the more, or let's say the lesser will be the font size of the text that will be displayed on our web page. So, and of course, let us see again the next tag we are to look at. This is important. Okay, the next tag we are to look at is what the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag defines the block of text as what a paragraph. It also adds spaces before and after a block, and in a nutshell, it groups sentences into a meaningful section. So how do we add the paragraph tag as well? So all we need to do, in order for you to add a paragraph or text within your HTML page, you just need to type P from the keyboard. Okay, we have the emit abbreviation here to help us out to complete this tag. Then you press enter. So here I'm going to type something. Let me say this is just for testing purpose. Okay, so if we go back to the browser, let's just see the preview. This is the preview. Okay, this is the preview we have for the paragraph tag. Okay, now I can choose to add another paragraph again. Let's use P tag. Let's just use lorem ipsum for dummy text. Okay, I will say lorem. I need 50 words. I will just type lorem ipsum or lorem 50. So you see we have the emit abbreviation. Lorem 50 here means I will be getting 50 words from the lorem ipsum dummy text. Okay, so the moment you press enter, so you see we have 50 words now from lorem ipsum. So if we go back to the web browser, let us see. So you see we have 50 text here from lorem ipsum. Now, of course, I told you the paragraph tag defines the block of text as a paragraph. Now look, this is a paragraph, okay? This is also a paragraph. And now it also adds spaces before and after each block, okay? There's a space here, there's a space here, and there's also a space here. So this is the work of the paragraph tag. It is used to add text within our document. But take a look, the heading tags here are different from the paragraph tags. I told you these heading tags, they are used to what? To add heading or subheading within our document. When you want to add actual text now, you need to use what? The paragraph tag. So let us move on to the next tag, which is the bold tag. Now, let me just clear things up here. I'll just wrap everything. So, the B tag. The B tag. The B tag is used to bold text. It's like changes the weight or the look of the text. Now, if we go back to our browser, let us see something. Now, there is a distinction between the text here and the headings here, okay? The text is just a normal text with the normal font size, okay? And just look at how the paragraph tag display the text on our web browser. And let's look at also how the heading tag displays the headings within our web page. Okay, so the bold tag here now says, instead of me to give you this normal text style, okay, this normal font style or this normal font weight, I'm going to bold this for you. Okay, I'll make this color more bold than it is right now. So let us go to our code editor and see something. Now I'll just say, let's use the B tag. See, the moment you type B, you'll see the emit abbreviation here and press enter. So here I'll write this is my bold text. Now let's go to the browser and preview. So if we go to the browser, look at something here. You see this is my bold text. Let me write the same text within a paragraph tag and let's see the difference now. So I'll type the same text within a P tag. So I'll just copy all this text, copy this text and paste it in here. And let's see. So if we go to the browser now and compare the two, you'll see. So you see, this is bold and this one is not bold. So this is how we use the B tag. The B tag is used to bold the text on our web page. Now, let us also look at another type of tag, which is, okay, for now, let me just comment this. I'll comment these ones. Yes, let me comment these ones so that we can have more space on our web browser. So here, let us look at another tag, which is called a strong tag. The strong tag. The strong tag is used for semantic importance. I told you, whenever you use these semantic tags, they tell the browser or screen readers or at times search engines that this text is important. I'm laying more emphasis on this text. So this is why we normally use semantic tags. Of course, let us do something here. I'll just say strong. So this is the tag. I'm going to type lorem. Let me just say lorem 5. I need just 5 words. So if we go back to the web browser, this is the strong tag. It also bolds the text, but the difference between the strong tag and that of the bold tag is that the bold tag just bold the text for you. It has no semantic importance. But the strong tag now tells the browser that this text is important. So it tells the search engine that this text is important. So this is the difference between the bold tag and the strong tag. The strong tag lays more emphasis on the text itself. So this is how we add a strong tag. Now let's look. If I am to use the same text, but let's change the tag here to B. And let's look at something. So if we go back to the browser, let me see. Let me just do something here. Okay. So if you take a look at these two, they are almost the same. But the difference between them now is that this gives semantic meaning to the text here, whereas this just bold the text for you. So you need to understand the two. So let us look at another tag, which is the italics tag. Of course, the italics tag is used to italize your text. This simply means it is used to slant text. Now let's take an example here. I'm going to use the P tag to type something here. I'll say this is a paragraph. Let me just use this again and change this one to this is an italic text. So I'll just change P to what? To I. So I is for italic. So that this is the I tag, which represents italics. Okay. So these are used to display information or text on the web page. But now let us see the difference now. If you go back to your web browser, you will see this is the paragraph. The paragraph is just a normal text, but the italic text is slanted and it also changes the font style a bit. So the P tag stays the same, but the italics tag slants the text for you. So this is the difference. So now if we go back to our text or our code editor, you see that they almost provide the same information on the web page, but at the end of the day, the texts are different. This is slant and this is a normal text. Let us look at another tag, which is the M tag. The emphasis tag also makes the text italics, but like what we had for bold and strong, the emphasis gives what? Semantic meaning. It conveys stress or importance in the meaning. Okay, it gives semantic meaning, whereas the I tag just italicize the text. Okay, it changes the text to be in italic form. But the M tag now tells the browser that I'm laying emphasis on this text. It is also very simple. Just type M. So in here, let's type something. Let's say this is an emphasis text, for example. So we'll go back to our web browser. Okay, I think I need to add a BR tag here. Okay, so let us go back to our web browser. So you see, they are just the same. So look at the output here. The output is just the same. And if you take a look at the font style, it is also the same. But this gives a semantic meaning to the text, where this is just a normal italics text that is displayed on your web browser. So this is the difference between the emphasis text and the italics text. Okay, you should note that these are semantic tags. Okay, they give meaning to the text. They convey more importance. Okay, they stress on the importance of the text. So let us understand that. We also have another tag, which is called the U tag. Of course, I told you the U tag is used to underline your text. It is normally not recommended for emphasis in web pages because the underlined text is often mistaken for a link. Yeah, it is often mistaken for a link. Let us see the output of the U tag. We just type U. So in here, let's say I'll call this is an underlined text. So if we go back to the browser, so you see, now this text is almost synonymous to that of a link. Let me just add a BR tag here. So if you take a look, it is almost synonymous to a link. Let's add a link here so that you can see what I mean. So I'll say BR. So here I'll say, let me just copy the same text that we have here. Let me copy this text, paste it here, and let's see. So mistakenly, you will tend to see this as a link to click on, but it is not. Okay, so this is why it is not often used. But we need to understand that there is a tag called the U tag, okay, which is used to underline your text within your document. We also have another important tag, the BR tag. It's very much important. The BR tag. The BR tag here inserts a line break in your text. It simply means it moves the content to the new line without starting a new paragraph. Okay. One good thing about this BR tag is that it is a self-closing tag. For example, the moment you type BR, so you see, it is a self-closing tag. It does not need tag like, or it is not synonymous to tag like the paragraph tag. So you see, for the paragraph, it has an opening and a closing paragraph. So for the BR now, it is a self-closing tag. So this BR, what it does here is that it moves wherever it is placed, it moves the content after this tag, it moves it directly to a new line. Let's take an example here. I'll use a paragraph here. Let's say Lorem. Let's say I need 10 words. Yes, I need 10 words. So you see, I have 10 words here. So if we go back to our web browser, let's see. So you see, we have 10 words here. Now, I'm going to place a BR tag here. So all I'll do, I'll just type BR. So what this BR tag will do now for me, it will automatically cut this portion after the tag. It will cut this portion to a new line. So let's just go to our browser and see. So you see, so instead of the normal line that we have, it cuts it automatically where it is added. So this is the essence of the BR tag. The BR tag is used to break the text or to break a line to a new line. It forcefully moves the text, or it forcefully moves whatever element that is before it to a new line. This is how we use the BR tag. So guys, like you've seen, it is pretty easy to use some of these tags. And that is pretty much it. And hopefully you now have an idea on text formatting tag. And I hope to see you in the next video where I will be talking about the HTML list and links. So if you have any question, don't forget to drop it in the comment section. And until then, bye-bye.